This is my life with albinism.
Now, this is my life with albinism.
And this is my life with albinism.
Go.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Life with Albinism. I'm your host, Dale, and for today, I have a new co-host who's going to be a permanent co-host on our show. I'll give it over to her, Miss Tony Marie.
Hi, guys. As you know, I'm Tony Marie. Tony. I am the new co-host, the new and, of course, awesome host that they needed because this show was just too manly. Y'all need a woman's perspective, a nice woman's touch, and a real touch. So that's what I'm here to do. So expect to see my face all the time. And we're going to make the show awesome and great like albinos are. Okay? So today we have a new guest, and he's going to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Justin Oliver. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm an entrepreneur. I live with albinism. Thank you for having me on the show, Dale and Tanya. I get the first show with with the new co-host. This is great. I feel special.
We need you to get her name correct.
Word.
I said Tony.
You said Tanya.
You said Tanya.
Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. I'm just hearing things. No, but seriously, I'm honored to be here, get the first show with Tony and Dale. Thank you guys for having me. I'm an entrepreneur and I have a positive spirit, and hopefully I can give some of this positive energy to you.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now you voiced that you had a specific topic that you wanted to break down and discuss. Go ahead and break the ice for us on that.
Well, the reason why I reached out to Life with Albinism with Dale and co-host, unless I really get this wrong, Tony. Okay, so reason why I reached out is because I see a stereotype, honestly, and I wanted to want everybody in the world and around us, the people with albinism, to have a positive perspective, even when your times are challenging, times are rough. I'm just giving some tips, some insights to help, inspire people, because, we influence each other. I don't want it to be looked at as, okay, you have albinism, that's a deficiency, it's wrong, or having people feel a certain energy that they don't have to feel, because I'm just letting everybody know it's a choice thing, and not to, reiterate what I'm saying. I just want to have everybody have a positive impact so we can have a positive impact as a whole.
Okay. So what is some advice that you would give to people living with albinism who may feel like albinism impacts their life negatively across the board? What would you say to those people, and how would you help encourage that within them?
Well, I would say this: embrace everything, embrace who you are, embrace your surroundings, and don't allow any energy that doesn't feel right to you, any energy from people when they approach you. Don't allow those things to tear you down. Don't allow those things to make you who you are not, because they say you respond to things that you are, not things that you are not. So that's how I feel like, with the positive energy on everything and the influence on everything, we can change that perspective together.
Tony?
I'm just taking it all in. I'm feeling the positive energy already.
Right. I love the message that he's delivering right now.
I do. I really like it because it's for age that I am. I won't throw my age out there, but I still have my daily struggles. Just the constant stares and people just being ignorant. I think that's my main issue with a lot of people that are ignorant to individuals with albinism. And it's like, we've been around for how long? You see us all around, and even though we come in darker or lighter shades, people are just like, oh, like, why do you look like this? Why do your eyes are like that? And it's like, are you kidding me? Especially in the medical field with doctors, it's really my biggest pet peeve that they really don't know a lot of what albinism is. And it's like they just go by their textbooks. It's like, oh, you're supposed to have extremely white hair or you're supposed to have red eyes. I've actually was told that, and I actually cursed him out. Like, I'm like, I looked at my hair like, my hair is actually golden blonde. Like, my hair's not white. Like, oh, you're supposed to look like this. I'm like, but I don't. Don't put me in a box. No, that's not who I am. So it's better to throw out a message of like, we come in different colors, different shades. And it's the same thing with individuals that are like, darker skin. Like, not everyone is extra hardcore black. There's like, the good browns, the caramels, the nice chocolates. Like, like, we have to let people know who we are. So
yeah. I agree. And just to elaborate on what you're saying, once everyone embraced their uniqueness as far as hair color, because they'll tell you, hey, before my hair started going a little gray here, it was black and dark brown like Dale's. Mm-hmm. My hair, when I had it, I had like a Super Saiyan fro, and that was like strawberry blonde, almost orange looking. So, and I'm tall. I'm 6'5". I'm a DJ. If you can see in my background, I'm in my office. And I speak to people all the time, and they just sometimes are wild how I carry myself. Not because of how I look. Mm-hmm. It's the attitude within which you have to allow people to see. Because once people see difference, it's like shock value when they never saw an albino before. Mm-hmm. Or say you see somebody that's no legs, no arms. When you look at them, they all of a sudden it's a shock value to you because you normally don't see that. So it distracts the mind. Mm-hmm. And it distracts your psyche. And you be like, oh, and then if you talk to them, kick it with them, have some conversations, and just ignore that fact that they're still a human being. At the same time, they still have things they can do. And you got people going viral, like the dude that got nubs. He goes viral. He's getting paid lots of money. And he said, what's your excuse? You got hands. You got two hands. I don't. And I'm still out here. So it doesn't matter the stereotypes. If you accept it as, okay, it's a deficiency, it's challenging my life. Yeah, we have challenges. Everybody does. People with good vision have challenges. Mm-hmm. They can't see certain things we have to see. And then most people with all the screen time these days, their vision is getting worse too. So if anything is the most challenge is the vision, not the outer shade, because you don't know me until you talk to me. You know what I mean? And I'm going to initiate a lot of my conversations with people that I care about or that's around me. People come up to me and just want to tell me a whole life story. And I don't even know these people from Adam. People have ran up to me and hugged me. I'm like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna just follow through with the hug. It's
oh hell no, you ain't touching me.
I don't know.
I mean, not in a bad way. You could sense the vibes, like somebody,
I get
that. I don't know you. Even before COVID time, you're not touching me.
This is well before COVID. Well before
COVID. With COVID, without COVID, you ain't touching you ain't no.
Okay.
I've had people chase me down just to shake my hand. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you're very,
that's a whole nother level.
I'm like, you just be grateful that I just said hello to you. Be grateful. I will not engage in conversation with everybody. I'll say, just hi, good morning, whatever. But you don't get that out of me all the time. So if I grace you with a hello, take it and be humble. No, this man had to chase me down into my cab and wouldn't let my cab go until I shook the damn hand.
But Tony, what's wrong with the man wanting to shake your hand, though?
Why do you need to shake my hand for? For what?
So, all right, let me ask you something.
To be polite?
When you go to a bar or you go out in public, what you're saying, what the message you're giving is nobody can just approach you the wrong way, which I respect. But some certain energies that people give off that people draw to me, I can't help it. And sometimes I dress bummy. I try all the methods to not get the attention that I get. I'm tall. So that's already an attention catcher. Like, oh, look at this big dude. Everybody know I'm albino. Even when they ask today, and then back in the day, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, they'll be like, are you black or white? I never got offended by that. You know what I'm saying?
I always say I was white. I was strong. No. It was like, I'm white. I am a white girl.
I would never, disrespect my race or my culture. I would never do that as far as, having an outlook. It needs to be white people. Sometimes it's black people. And some people got jokes. Like I'm the type, I'm so confident and DJing till you meet all type of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people. I'm DJing in Coliseums and stuff. And they ask and they come up to me, want to know who I am. So I embrace those moments because now I get a chance to educate somebody. I get a chance to give them who I really am instead of this outlook that people see. Oh, it's an albino. He can't see. He looked close in his phone. So what? I don't care about none of that. That doesn't deteriorate me from being great. That doesn't deteriorate me from being who I am authentically. Because
I was going to say, and I think that ties into what you were talking about at first, how like when people who don't know you and they first see you and obviously the first thing they see is the albinism, they prejudge what you may be able to do and what you can't do. You know what I mean? Like one thing that I get a lot is you don't look like you can do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So people come to you with like a prejudgment until they get to know you. And then they're like, oh, wow, this dude is cool, or this dude is funny, or this dude can do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So I think that your message to people is so important because you're pretty much telling other people with albinism, don't let your disability hinder you. Don't let it hold you back. And don't let the prejudgment get to you. You know, show people who you are, what it is you can do, and don't feel like albinism holds you back because it really doesn't. You know, I tell people all the time.
Wrong, like proving the naysayers, like, oh, I can't do it. Let me show you what I can do. And
it's an
I'm
advantage.
just going to be shocked by what I can do.
It's actually an advantage
when you stick out like a sore thumb. Just think about it. Everybody, these celebrities these days, they can't find shock value because they look so normal. So why can't you say, okay, if I'm already shock value to the mind, because you know we're few and the proud in a certain areas. You know, my little sister, she albino too, but she learned a lot of things from me. You know, I drove early. Doctors told me, hey, your vision get worse. My vision got better. I was born 2100. I'm at 2060 now. I can drive day and night.
Damn.
So hey, God is good. I serve a good God.
Yes, can I get that vision too?
You know, and that's, I'll go a lot of places with I don't have to wear my glasses. Only time I wear my glasses is to get that extra boost of security and safety.
Do you wear your glasses to drive?
If I know the roads, no, I don't wear them.
Wait, whoa. You don't wear your glasses to drive?
If I know the roads, yes. If it's unfamiliar territory, yeah, I'll put them on for extra safety because of construction. I don't have to because you know the roads.
You're 2060 without glasses?
I think I'm 2070 without glasses. I'm 2060.
Okay, 2060 with glasses. Okay.
So
Dale has this thing that albinos are supposed to wear glasses.
Well, no. That's level of comfort because honestly, I mean, I like frames. You know, I could wear my glasses comfortably. I'll put them on for you right now. But the thing is, that's not going to change much of my vision.
Your glasses are stylish. Ooh.
You know, these. It ain't nothing but some Ray-Bans. Everybody has.
You got the Ray-Bans. Okay.
Now I wanted to go back to that really good point that you made about how sticking out can actually become an advantage. And one thing that I tell people is this, and this has happened to me numerous times. Like I've had situations where I'm interviewing for a job, and let's say they take in 300 applicants for this job. And out of those 300 applicants, they were only able to hire 16. And out of that 16, only 8 could be male and 8 had to be female. And I was one of the 8 selected. And automatically, I chumped that up to my albinism as to why I got that job, because me standing out so much stuck into their head. So when it was time for them to sit back and reflect on all 300 people that they interviewed, and they have to now think of, okay, well, who sticks out in my mind? Oh yeah, there was this guy with albinism.
You know what I'm saying? They might say you're Irish or something. They might category, but anybody I speak to in that degree, they know already because how I carry myself.
Whether they know it or not, the point is visually we stand out. So I'm 100% positive that was the reason why I had got that job, because now when they have to reflect on all of these 300 people that they done interviewed, they have to now think, okay, well, who stood out the most to us? So unconsciously, I'm that one that's sticking out to you more. Now, as long as I do well on the interview, that is obviously. Now, if I do crappy on the interview, then of course me standing out won't matter. But as long as you do okay, you're going to be that person that stands out into their mind. So that's one example as to how standing out so much as we do ends up being our advantage over the next. And same thing with, like you said, with also going viral. Like, like all the time I see viral clips of athletes with albinism. Let's say like a guy, like there's this one that I always see is like this guy in college. Huh?
What athlete has albinism?
Well, in college, there's no professional ones. There's no professional ones, unfortunately. But we'll save that.
What professional athlete got albinism? Because I'm surely behind.
There isn't really any, but we'll talk about that on another episode. But I always see those clips that go viral of like the albino guy that's like playing basketball in high school or college really well, and then it goes viral. There's a million guys playing basketball in college or high school, but the guy who's albino is going to go viral because he stands out. So that's just examples of how it becomes an advantage. What are some other advantages of standing out or sticking out so much?
Glad this is a good question. I'm glad we're talking about the advantages, because even if somebody, let's take this for example, me as a DJ, my city know me. They'd be like, yeah, the big tall albino dude. I'm not offended by somebody saying the albino dude. That's just an description.
Right.
That's okay to me. They're not saying, hey, you are albino and I hate you, or coming with so much derogatories and adjectives and really directing it towards me, trying to insult me. That's just a description. Right. Just like a cop would say, hey, it's a description. White male robbed the bank. He had on these clothes. Different things like that. So I don't look at it as a defense. It don't put me in my defense mode. What it does
I agree with that so much. I agree with that so much because I tell people all the time, that's probably the best way to describe me if you're describing me to someone that doesn't know me. So if someone was to come up to him and say, hey, who did that artwork over there, but they don't know who I am, then you would have to say, oh, the guy with albinism or the albino guy. That's right there is going to narrow down your search to know exactly who that person is talking about.
Correct.
And I don't find that to be offensive either, and this, now I might get a lot of flack for this, but I even go to the point of agreeing with that no matter what the description is. Like, let's just say if a person was fat, right? And if you were to say like, oh, the heavy set guy or whatever the case, it's just a description. The person is not deliberately trying to be insulting. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to insult you.
But it is insulting. That's insulting. Like, oh, like who did this artwork? Oh, that white fat girl over there. No.
No, but
let's not say it like that, right?
That's how they're gonna say it. Oh,
I understand why you use
hubby girl over there.
No, I mean, you could say heavy set. You could clean it up however you want to.
Heavy set, chubby, fat, no.
They're gonna have to elaborate on what you're wearing.
Right. On what.
So why can't you say the white girl that has on that black dress with the red pumps, or the blonde girl with pink streaks? And why you gotta go towards my size?
Because but think about this. Think about this. So that's just like
to you, but so it's like if they're looking for that specific person, now I'm like, okay, I need to look for the white girl that's fat or heavy set.
Okay, that was okay. I don't want you to go
the white heavy set.
I don't want you to take this out of context. Okay, remember what we're talking about. We're just talking about descriptions. That could be any type of description.
No, I know, but that's the example that he gave. So
I understand. That's why I don't want you to take it out of context. Remember, let's go back to what we're talking about.
Right. So we could take away fat as the adjective. We could just say
tall, tall. Look, a real tall white dude.
You can say short too. Like, the thing is is that people, especially people with albinism, a lot of them become super, super sensitive. So when you say things like, oh, the short guy on the left, that guy might feel offended, like, oh, why are you calling me short? But listen, it's just a description to narrow down who we're speaking of. So when someone says, hey, the short albino guy with the gray shirt on, there's no offense to that. He gave an accurate description so that person knew who I was. I don't find any offense to that.
Or when people use the word, like, this was a big thing, like saying, oh, the person with albinism, or saying albino.
What's wrong with that?
Get real offensive with it.
They don't say albinism. They say albino dude, albino.
Exactly. I'm like,
it's okay.
I find that perfectly fine. Like when I was doing my search, I think it was not last year, the year before, for a fashion show. I was like, in search for albino individuals for this fashion show, blah, 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 on Facebook. And this person, which did not have albinism, she had the audacity to sit there and comment, oh, the proper term is albinism. I said, bitch, I said albino. I could say it because I have albinism. I'm albino. So if anyone takes offense,
all right, let's talk about that.
You.
Let's talk about that. So that's like you saying to a white person, hey, I could say nigga, sorry, I could say nigga to a black person, but I can't have a white person say it to me.
I can't, listen. I can't let you run with that narrative. Listen, here's the thing, man.
It's the same thing.
No, it's
different. Just because we have albinism doesn't mean we can't be corrected by a person that's not, because that's a respect thing.
I'm not saying that you can't correct me, but it's how she came at it. It's like, why you getting so hostile about it? Relax, like calm it down.
Because she might know somebody in her family that has albinism. You never know.
But for you, but for someone that's actually, I'm albino, I actually have albinism. If I want to say looking for albinos, it's like if it was like a regular black person said it, then I can see where you was coming from. Like, oh, the proper term is albinism. Okay, that's your opinion.
Wait. But who cares who says it? The term albino does not have. But it's like people get really like touchy. Like, I have albinism. I'm not albino. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're albino. Stop it. Right. Now, my question to you, Jay, is why do people find that offensive? I've never in my life felt that there was anything wrong with saying albino versus albinism. And this
albinism's too long to say, first off.
Exactly.
Come on, everybody,
it's just an abbreviation.
Everybody in our community, we have abbreviations. My name's Justin, but people call me what? Jay. You know what I'm saying? Well, my name is Cool Mix J as a DJ, but people call me Cool. Hey, Cool. Everybody abbreviates things smaller to.
So you agree that the term albino is not offensive?
It's not. It's not to me, because first off, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you my backstory real quick so everybody knows. Okay, when I was young, we moved here. We were poor. Okay, we lived in the shelter for 6 months. I have 8 siblings. 8 siblings. So it was my mom, 8 siblings, my dad. We struggled bad. So in class, having to deal with school clothes, trying to get money for lunch. You talking about making change from food stamps, all type of poverty levels, I've lived them. All emotions, I done went through it, okay? From knowing people that are not here no more, all that, So the thing that made me stronger a lot, my other struggles were more stronger than the struggles I was faced with me being different. Because it got to a point where I hung out so much, I forgot I was an albino. I'm gonna be dead serious with you. And it'd be a lot of people, big crowds of people, I hung out with down there, watch run. And they'll tell you like, yo, we don't, I think it's how you present yourself. People are not gonna sit there and say, okay, that bothers you. They won't be able to identify that bothers you. They'll be like, yo, he's just a real dude. They're not gonna say the albino dude because they're gonna say, call me by my name. They're not gonna, categorize me because I'm different, because everybody has their own differences. Even the people that you think that are perfect on Instagram that you see.
Right. And that's why I say that when that word is said, it's going to be towards somebody who does not know who you are. So if I say, hey, pass that turntable to Jay, and they're like, oh, well, who's Jay? I say, oh, the albino guy right there on the left. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it ain't. Even when people are joking, like I always went to school and people, they had jokes and everything, and I was always prepared for them. Like when you start the joke session with me, please, because I have jokes for days for everybody in this class almost. I knew the people that was ready to joke. I knew the people that thought about it because I always had some backlash. So I wasn't presenting myself as, and I speak more for the youth. The younger albinos is coming up to be like, okay, I'm getting bullied in school or something like that. It's just your perspective. Do not allow those things to shake you, break you, tear you apart, because you have to understand we're all humans. We have most of the same challenges. So that's why we speak in familiarity, so don't allow these things to deter you who you are. Just tap into your gifts. God made you unique on purpose.
Right.
Because you're able to handle it. So don't allow people to be like, oh no, that's not a gift, that's a curse. Understand, tap into your gifts first, and you will forget about the curses if you think there is any. Because I don't see a curse in it. I just think I'm just as strong as you are with perfect vision. So if you have my eyes, like the doctor told me, if I take my eyes out and put it in one, take an eye and switch it, take one of my eyes, give them to you, and you give me one of your eyes, I will perform better than you. I would move better than you because I was born into this. You wasn't. So now it'll be a weakness for you. It's not for me, because I'm not crippled by how
right. This is all we know. We've been living with albinism our whole life. Right. So to us, it's not a crippling thing because this is all I know. I don't have anything else to compare it to. I never lived a life without albinism to say, oh, this is the bad, this is all I know. You know what I mean? And I said on my last episode that the only negative that I'll associate with albinism is the skin in terms of us getting sunburnt so quickly. That's the only negative. The vision, I wouldn't even call the vision a negative, even though a lot of us, some of us are legally blind. That's not even a negative because being legally blind is what gets you all your benefits that you get, like the free tuition, free glasses, free services, and all that other stuff. You get that not because you're albino, but because you are legally blind. So I wouldn't even call the vision the negative. The only negative is you step out in that sunlight, it could be 80 degrees. You out there too long or without protection, you gonna get burnt.
You better attack.
That's the one negative that I can associate. Everything else has been the world to me, man.
A lot of people don't agree with that. I think for me, I mean, my vision's not terrible. I mean, I've known some people that had really bad vision, that albino, but the vision is, to me, is an issue. And of course, the whole sun, because me and the sun aren't friends. So
right. I hate that.
That sun will get me like within 10 minutes of me being outside if I'm not careful.
So now in closing statements, we're going to do 2 closing statements. The first one, I just want to ask you guys, since we all agreed on this, why do you guys feel like some people take the term albino as offensive? That's what I want to ask you guys.
Ladies first.
You want to go first?
Oh, ladies first.
Oh, of course. I honestly don't really have an answer to that because I never thought of it as a problem until somebody corrected me on it. And I never thought it was a thing. And mind you, that was literally just 2 years ago. I never knew it was a thing. So I really couldn't tell you why people take offenses to that. And even for people that don't even have albinism, for them to come and correct someone with albinism to correct me is like, I really don't know. I couldn't tell you, honestly. I wish I had an answer. I don't. I really don't.
What's your perspective, Jay?
I think honestly, it's just it was taught in your neighborhood, your community, even sometimes your family. You know, if you look at it as a negative thing, it's sometimes taught to you. Yeah, albinos have this low vision. Albino have no color in their skin, and then you just start to feed into that and roll with that, perspective. But as you get older and mature, you start to be like, it's just a term. It's just a term. It doesn't define me personally for who I am, my personality, my characteristics, my will, my emotions, but it taps into who I was created as a description of my image. Okay. Yeah, albinism is known for low vision, but it doesn't have to be legally blind all the way. Albinism's known not to drive, but guess what? I have a license. I've had my license for 10 years. So
lucky you.
I just went hard. Like
I envy people that have albinism that drive. I really do.
but think about this. The territory. If you ride in the car, you know the territory, correct? Yeah. Most of the time, you're gonna know the territory you live by.
I mean, it depends on where I'm at. Like if I'm in the Bronx, then yeah, I'll know that area. But take me somewhere else or take me to Brooklyn, I'm not gonna know the roads.
Well, even if you don't, you got a GPS. We got so many things that can help us. Like you don't have to navigate.
I don't think it's just my fear of like my vision. Like just like getting behind the wheel of like doing it. I'm not meant to be behind the wheel. I have a bad anger problem.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that can possibly shelter a lot of albino kids away and people with albinism is recognizing faces, because people wear emotions far away. But you got to learn that, okay, if I can't recognize your face, I'm gonna get up to you where I can. You know what I'm saying? You can't be ashamed of that. I sat in the front of the class. I did all the things I did for my sister, so I was able to give what I went through to her. I sat in the front of the class. I done wrecked 2 vehicles. Okay, I'm not perfect. I can give you all the other stuff right now.
Crashed since you was driving with albinism.
I was going fast as hell too, but it wasn't.
His albinism wasn't the cause. It was just
the albinism. No. I'm putting out my imperfections so you understand the level I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So I wrecked 2 vehicles. I went to jail for driving on suspended. Okay, click clack. And in jails, no albinos there. Not one. And people think, oh, that's a weakness. No, I'm a tall dude. I'm ready for the fight like you if I need to. I'm gonna talk my trash just like you if I want to. You know, so it's nothing that's gonna hold me out of character. I'm gonna stay in my square of who the person I am. I don't care how I look on the outside. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. If you allow that to matter, when you go to the mirror every morning, you be like, oh, I gotta, my hair is getting gray, or I'm bald. I'm gonna just use me for an example. Everybody had their own insecurities, but you gotta learn how to take them and say, you know what? Start finding the beauty in you. You know what I'm saying? My grays on my hair is maturity. It shows a distinguishment. You feel me? So when I put these frames on, the frames of choice, I'm gonna switch my demeanor. Or if I wanted to look young, I can cut it off and I have this baby face. It's smooth. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, a lot of dudes got bald heads. That's hereditary. I can't help that. If I wanted to, I'll put a wig on like Donald Trump, or I'll go over and get some heat. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. Everybody has their own insecurities. When you go to that mirror, you need to appreciate who you are. Love who you are. It's a lot of it self-love. And you talk about albinism. Do you love who you are? Because guess what? You have to live with this, not other people. So when you have a reflection of yourself and you love self, you're going to appreciate self. You're going to be grateful for what you do have and not what you don't.
That's very important.
You see what I'm saying?
I like your message. Your message is really touching some strings with me. I really am loving it.
I want to build every person with albinism confidence up, because in a concert of people, I don't know if y'all been in a crowd, maybe 10,000 people. I mean, let's say 1,000 people, just to keep it on regular club basis. You can spot me in without the whole club. It doesn't matter. I'm tall, I'm light. So what? Come talk to me. Let's get a drink. You know what I'm saying? I approach ladies just like everybody else. I have the confidence that you need to have. And sometimes some people, cross my confidence with arrogance. Who you think you are? No, I'll tell you who I am if you come talk to me and you understand the struggles I get to or what I've been through, and then you will understand who I am as an individual. So for this level of confidence, but I done made it through hoods, I done made it through cars getting shot at, I done made it through homes getting robbed and all that stuff. You can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. So who are you to judge me? Because hey.
Okay, so we had a really, really, really great discussion with you today. I definitely want to thank you for coming on to the show. And I think that your message was very clear, very positive, and very encouraging to all of those with albinism. So we want to give you the chance to now give us your social medias, anything that you want people to reach you at, and let them know that, and we'll call it a day.
All right. First, I want to say thank you, Dale. Thank you, Tony, for having me on the show, Life with Albinism. I'm appreciative and I'm very humble to have a voice to influence other people with albinism. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook. My Facebook name is Justin Oliver. You can look me up. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. You can see my famous face on the front. I'm actually behind some turntables. Instagram, you can follow me at DJ Cool Mix J. That's COOLMIX letter J. And also follow my new page, my new company page, DJ Kings Entertainment. On Twitter, I have a DJ Kings page on Twitter as well.
Okay. And Tony, as our new host, give everyone your social medias.
You can follow me on Instagram, Lady Vanilla Bean Frack with 2 P's. And my Facebook is Tony Marie Roan. But it's better you follow me on Instagram.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our episode.